Last evening, 7 p.m. class of 2020. It's been a little rough, a little weird, but you're still here. You still made it, okay? So a big round of applause for that, man. You gotta have perseverance, man, the mindset. Like, man, it doesn't matter what comes your way, you're gonna beat it no matter what. You know, and jiu-jitsu gives you that, all right? Or it should, you know. I'll just leave it, say this real quick before I do what I gotta do. Like Coach Joe asked me the other day, like, hey, you know, when you're getting beat the whole round, you're getting smashed, you know, what's your mindset? And the mindset, and Coach Rizzo said the same thing, is small victories. Find some little small thing to get back into the fight, and then build on that until you get back in the game. You see what I'm saying? And that's what jiu-jitsu teaches you, man. Like, nothing else is gonna put you in this position where you're mounted, you're tired, you're exhausted, person's coming at you, they're trying to break your will, you're starting to break. You have to catch that moment and come back from that and keep fighting and finish. You know, finish the round and finish whatever is coming your way. So, anyways, it's a little bit overdue. First degree, second degree actually, okay? Now, okay, let me make sure we're clear on this. When the rest of you, white, blue, brown, black, all the orange, yellow, green belts, gray belts, when you get this on your belt, it's a stripe, okay? So you get 4 stripes and you go to the next belt. When you get this on your black belt, it is a degree. So every 3 years, okay, you'll get one of these as long as you're still training, all right? So there's a lot of weight that goes behind this piece of tape, okay? And even for the ones that are just stripes on your white belts and blue belts and stuff like that, think about how much you're sweating and the positions that you had to fight over and what you've gone through to get to the next step, all right? So some people say, oh man, that's just a piece, it's not a piece of tape, man. There's a lot that goes behind this, okay? So let me bring up my first black belt ever. If you guys haven't had a chance to meet him, you will meet him now. Mr. Angel Vargas, come on up, sir. Big round of applause. So, this guy has always been one of my toughest and most humblest, most respectful students. Okay, walked into the academy when I was teaching out of a gymnastics facility. I'll come into a little bit. And been giving me hell like ever since. And he's always pushing me to the brink and always giving me his toughest self. And that's what it's about. Regardless of I'm his teacher, I'm his coach. He always brings the heat, and that's how we've gotten better throughout the years. The thing about Mr. Vargas, again, no trash talking social media, no trash talking on other people, no hating. He's always like very happy for his fellow teammates, and just an overall just great person, man. And he's an absolute beast, okay? So it's just my honor to just come up and have him get here today. You know, our schedules didn't really match up, and now today it did. And now he's got another degree on his black belt. So that's a huge milestone, because some people will get to black belt and then call it quits. Some people will get to first degree and call it quits. And to get to that next step, it takes a lot to do that. So, Mr. Vargas, just for the ones, because you got some new faces here, you obviously got some regular ones. How long have you been training jiu-jitsu?
Maybe like 12, 13 years now.
12, 13 years. What got you into it?
Just loving martial arts.
Martial arts. You
Martial
were
arts.
Taekwondo before, right?
Yeah, I did Taekwondo for a little bit, and then in the same gym, they started offering jiu-jitsu. Some blue belt came, and you know, I thought I was a big black belt, and the guy put me on my back, and I couldn't get out. So, man, I gotta learn this.
Mm-hmm. You've been on the path ever since.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So he used to come a lot more, but he's actually teaching. And where's that? There you're teaching at?
Warrior Martial Arts in Flower Mound.
In Flower Mound. He's up there, so spreading the jiu-jitsu gospel up there, sharing the goodies, and got building his team. And it's always great to see him doing his thing up there. All these years you've been training, you've had some ups and downs, life changes, stuff like that. What what keeps you in it?
Well, it's a lot like, you know, when you grapple and you're in a trouble spot, you're like, man, there's still something I can do to get out. And even if you get defeated in that round, you start to think, man, what could I have done better? And so, man, things happen throughout my training. You know, cars break down, you get broke, you get injured, things happen in your family, but there's always that something that is going to keep you on the straight and narrow. And throughout my training, I have, you know, I've gone backwards sometimes. I've messed up a few times, but then, you know, you got to come back. And just like one thing that Coach Alvarez does that I like a lot, and I haven't been able to train here as much. I'm focused now on coaching. Is I like what he does. I'm still on the team page, and I'm still a member here. Very big because of how he delivers his message constantly. I haven't watched all the coffees with Coach, but I've watched a lot of them, and especially like one today was about the new norm and how you're going to make those changes, even though people are trying to pull you away from it. It could be people trying to arm drag you. It can be any situation in life that's trying to take you away from what you want. And it might take you away for a little bit. Sometimes it might win, but you got to keep on coming back. And sometimes the new norm becomes the old norm, and I got to go back to that old norm. And there's always something like when I get my black belt, I know like some people recently got promoted to black belts or their next rank, and you come back and you're like, man, maybe I'll go and get my blue belt and I'll go to class instead of wear my black belt. And maybe people won't hunt me down as much. But I come to the class, even today before coming here, like, man, I know I've read just a bunch of beasts out there. I gotta wear my black belt, and I better go and do well. So, you know, I've been running miles and just thinking about when I'm gonna come back and train with you guys. So just coming back to that norm, that straight and narrow of the black belt, really makes you just say, hey, you know what, this is something that I do, and I'm gonna stay on track.
Good stuff. Now, you just brought up something that he's been doing a lot lately. He's been running, and he's been sharing his runs on Facebook. And I'm a big advocate of that because it might spark someone else to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I should grab some running shoes and get up and go running, or grab a jump rope like Joe and go jogging, or hit some weights, or do something healthy for yourself. What sparked the runs you've been doing? Like, you've been killing it. You've been doing like 6 miles.
Mr. Dorsey?
Dorsey!
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw him, he posted, he went and he trained in the morning, and he ran like 6.7 miles or something, then he trained at night, and then the next day he's like, oh, I'm gonna do some boxing this morning. I'm like, wow, you know, and then I come back and I see he looks like a totally different person. He's always been on a, you know, really disciplined, he's always been making improvements, but every time it's like, that's amazing. And that's, you know, I was like, man, I love being part of this team where everybody's doing well. Sorry.
You guys really starting to separate over here.
Yeah, so that's it. See, I didn't know that. You know, I thought maybe something else sparked that here. It's one of the guys here that did that. And so it's important that you do that. And also what he just said is he knew coming here, when he ties his belt, he's gonna have to bring it. And that's the mindset. When I tie a belt around your waist, you should protect it. You shouldn't just let any Joe Blow just come in and just roll you up. Like, there's something that goes behind this when I tie it around your waist. You're gonna get beat, no doubt, but it shouldn't be because of lack of effort. It should be because you're like, hey, you know what? This means something, and I'm gonna get after it. You want some of this? You're gonna have to fight me for it and go and come and get it. Not just, well, let's shake hands and, you know, I'm gonna let you beat me down. So he had that mind switch on the way in to be like, yeah, I better straighten up because these guys, I know they're going to be coming for me. So, again, it takes a lot. Every 3 years, for the first 3 degrees. So, I have 3, so 3, 6, 9. After that, it's every 5 years. So, I just hit my 4th year. I won't get my next degree until next December, which will be my 4th degree. It'll be 5 years since my last degree. So, it takes time to develop and everything else to get to that next step. And so it's great to see, you know, my first black belt continuing the path going forward. And it's great to have him here tonight. So big round of applause for Mr. Vargas. All right, guys, we're going to bow you guys out right there. You guys have a great night. Happy New Year. We'll see you. We'll see you next year.
That's it.